Sekuok's phase is a true mind controller, and the mastermind behind every fucking thing in the whole wide world. Sekuok's phase is the main antagonist in the lore. Sekuok's phase has recently been doing fun little operations all across the globe, including a little operation against Sushi VR, who is another main antagonist, and Sekuok's phase told some guy off of Facebook to scam him and make Sushi VR think he was getting a good gaming PC, but it was actually a dog shit PC, and wanted it to be on Sushi VR's birthday. Once Sushi VR drove 2 hours to pick up his new PC, his dumbass was in shock when he turned it on at home. He saw the specs and tried to run Rec Room. It only ran 10 frames per second. Sushi VR wasn't mad he got scammed because Sushi VR's father paid for the PC and begged his father to buy him a new one. Croc's phase was like, what the fuck is his thinking? And Corey had enough of it. Sushi VR is supposedly one of the dumbest characters in the lore, often facing a lot of backlash and a lot of hate. Sushi VR has looked at all of the comments and the hate from it, and he became sexually aroused from it all because he has a weird ass kink, that stupid bald-headed prick who is built like a fucking bean burrito from that fucking buffet that Fatas keeps going to. Croc's face hates him. Corey hates him. Fuck! Sushi VR is one of the few reasons why humanity is a dumb and stupid species of animals in the whole wide world and the universe. Sekuok's phase often looks at Sushi VR like he is the dumbest person in the whole wide world. Sure, Sushi VR can sometimes function like a normal human being and sometimes knows how to talk to people, but I think it's just a fake personality he puts over. Sushi VR is one dumb son of a bitch because he simps for a bunch of girls all across the globe besides native girls. Sushi VR often hates native girls and makes them uncomfortable. He has fucked every type of girl, like white or black or Asian or everything besides native girls. I think it's due to the fact most native girls drink alcohol and smoke every day and makes them stinky. Sekuok's face thinks the same way. But Sushi VR doesn't allow native women to join his slut army. Sushi VR allows every type of girl into his slut army besides natives. Sushi VR has been controlling Virginia for years now. He has placed Buffys all across the Virginia homeland because Sushi VR praises Buffets. But once Sekuok's phase and Corey invaded Virginia, Sushi VR was evacuating and he was running slowly because of his fat ass that weighs 250 pounds and he fell over 2 times. That stupid fucking bean burrito. Sushi VR moaned when he fell on the ground, fearing he was gonna get shot. His sluts had to drag him into a bunker. Can't even run for 20 seconds without falling over. Croc's phase was like, what the fuck is his thinking? And Corey had enough of it. Sushi VR didn't even try to lose weight, all he did was eat fast food for a living. At the age of 22, with pedophilia in his soul and fast food on his mind and weed in his lungs, his life was slowly coming to a close. He lost the slut wars. Sekuok's phase and Corey felt happiness for the first time in a while. It seemed like a happy ending. Sushi VR died. Ha 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 ha. Here are some horrible facts about Sekuok's phase, who is the main antagonist in the lore. 1. Sekuok's phase is the creator of many things. He was created before the universe was even created. We don't know how he did that. My guess is that he selected Create, World at Hardcore difficulty, and then selected Multiplayer, and that is why we are all here. Because if he selected Single Player, then he would have been all alone in the universe. He is truly a god.
2. Second phase is the creator of indigenous people.
We don't know how he did that. Many indigenous people all across the globe praise a creator, some type of god or supernatural that created indigenous people. But many indigenous people don't know Tuoxphase is their creator. Tuoxphase is just a really smart person. Tuoxphase even created Bannock and indigenous languages in Resi meals. Maybe he's the most indigenously Asian person. The 3-second Oxphase is sadly one of the reasons Sushi VR exists. It's one of the saddest things in the lore, and one of the dumbest decisions Tuoxphase could have ever done ever in his lifetime. He made both of his parents meet and they created him. Truly a sad story. 4. Second Oxphase did most of the planning before the Slut Wars happened. He worked alongside Corey, but more specifically he planned the first wave of the invasion. However, it ended horribly and both Oxphase and Corey had to disengage sadly and pull their troops out of Virginia. Sushi VR was happy. He celebrated with hundreds of buffets being created across Virginia. He spent most of his money on the buffets and not military infrastructure and equipment. Coxphase was like, what the fuck is his thinking? And Corey had enough of it. Sushi VR is one dumb son of a bitch because he let his guard down to go eat the buffet every day with his sluts. And then the second wave happened. Corey planned the second wave invasion and it went really well. Way better than the first wave's plans. Sushi VR was sad and crying. He had to evacuate Virginia.
Here are some horrible facts about Sushi VR, who is the main antagonist in the lore.
1. Sushi VR has fucked every type of girl with race, religion, ethnicity, and many more. We don't know why he did that. My guess is that he didn't care about their soul or anything but only their body. Because Sushi VR gives no shit about women at all, and he just uses their body or money for personal gain. That stupid little shit needs to learn that women aren't just tools, or don't use them for personal gain for wealth and dopamine. That's stupid shit. But 2, Tuoxphase always had some kind of respect for Sushi VR. Sushi VR thinks the same way. Tuoxphase is the reason why Sushi VR exists in this world. But did you know Tuoxphase is one of the core reasons why Sushi VR has died in Chapter 6? Sushi VR was pushed into his bunker by Tuoxphase and Corey. Then Sushi VR tried to copy one of Tuoxphase's plans by creating an army with thousands of his kids, but he caught an STD in the process that would lead to his eventual death in the upcoming days by pneumonia and other things when he ate 5,000 calories of food each day. What a sad ending for a Sushi VR. But 3, Sushi VR's plans with Earth is to be in a relationship with every girl in the world and be the only male to wander the Earth with billions of girls. That's his sole goal on Earth. It's a shitty plan, to be honest with you. That would just lead to incest. Every character lore had a great purpose, and it had really interesting stuff to it, but Sushi VR, on the other hand, was really stupid and poorly written. Secox phase was like, what the fuck is his thinking? And Corey had enough of it. For 4, Sushi VR was almost considered to be one of the fattest humans in the whole wide world because of his incredible diet and lifestyle choices that he has made. That fat fuck ate so much noodles and drank Dr. Pepper. If he sprinted, he would already be tired, so that's why his story is somewhat of an inspiration for people for not to gain lots of weight. 5. Sushi VR is often the most hated in the lore, which is really sad. Sushi VR often gets emotional and cries because of it, because he thinks his character is one of the best in the whole lore and whole wide world.
But actually, it isn't. Ha 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 ha. The native campaign spanned through pretty much throughout the entire storyline.
Around 10 chapters, the campaign has remained active, mostly in the North America region. In the early chapters, Canada and the United States have erupted into a civil war caused by Tuok's phase by corrupting the governments and making the governments turn on native people across the United States and Canada and trying to kill them all. This was during the time when Corey created his organization, the Inner Circle. The indigenous people all across Canada and the United States has come up with a military alliance. The name was the Indigenous Rebellion Forces, IRF. The Indigenous Rebellion Forces and the Inner Circle has been fighting in skirmishes against the corrupt Canadian and American governments. While there are a few Canadians and Americans that don't support the corruption, they have sided with the indigenous peoples. Around Chapter 3, Xerxes phase launches a huge military operation against indigenous people across Canada, mainly targeting the James Bay region. Corey had to implement their army to protect the James Bay coast. Other alliances across the world helped Corey and the indigenous peoples. Corey has come up with a huge military alliance against Sushi VR and Tuok's phase's forces, and it's called the Coalition. While Tuok's phase was pushing through Canada, Sushi VR was supplying Tuok's phase with ammunition and explosives. But his bitch ass blew up half of his Navy fleet because most of his sluts smoked cigarettes, and that ignited one of the bombs and caused a chain reaction. Ox phase was like, what the fuck is his thinking? And Corey had enough of it. Secox phase lost the invasion of the James Bay because of it. The war in Canada and around indigenous land has stopped for now because of the California invasion and Serbian invasion taking place. This whole war, which spanned from beginning of Chapter 2 to the end of Chapter 3, was called the First Great Indigenous War. In the next few chapters, specifically Chapter 7, Corey lost it all and terminated most of his alliances with everybody. The Coalition was dismantled and the Inner Circle wanted more territory. The Inner Circle started attacking indigenous armed forces, which used to be the IRF, for land and military power. The Inner Circle was seen as a threat alongside Tuok's phase's forces. The United Nations has plans to stop them both. Canada was in a full-blown war, with Inner Circle and indigenous peoples fighting to the death. Indigenous peoples would lose the war. Even some indigenous people in the Inner Circle back to the inner circle. It was like a civil war. Coxface was happy, but he knew Corey was getting stronger. Coxface was killed in Chapter 10. Corey has become the main antagonist in the lore. North America is in ruins. The world was burning. Less than 1 billion people were alive. The last few indigenous peoples from various communities are killed. The native campaign is over.